in the Boneyard. Oh, and I'm Bones this morning instead of Sofa City Sounds. I'm TJ this morning. So we have an amazing guest all the way from Russia. Can you please introduce yourself, who your
Okay.
band is, as
Yeah.
well as how you guys got together?
Hey, I'm Roman Nemtsev from band Slice of Sorrow, and we're from Russia, and it's actually 6 p.m. right here. It's evening. Yeah. We've got together in 2015,
Mhm.
and we've got our first album out in 2017. And our lineup is Roman Nemtsev, founder, guitars, vocals, and also I write all songs and all lyrics. And on guitar, Arseniy Karnauch, on bass, Nikolai Yezikin, and on drums, Max Konov. They're very cool guys, and I'm happy that they play in my band. That's awesome.
That's awesome. Right on. That's awesome. So you guys obviously your tight sound comes because you guys have been playing together for a little while, which is nice. So speaking of tight sounds, you guys just released Ego Throne
Yeah, yeah.
in April, or I guess it would be like the end of April, beginning of May,
Yeah,
April
yeah,
30th.
yeah. Exactly.
Okay, good. I got it right.
Yeah, awesome.
So, tell us about the album, like how it came together, what it's about, you know?
Yeah, well, the idea of Igathron came to me when I worked with one person, particular in music industry, and the ego of this person was so huge, enormous, and I just can't stand it. So I had to do something, and I wrote song about this person and about person who thinks that all around them just they're slaves and they just live for them, and it's not right in my opinion. So all album is kind of about ego in and how it uh, works in this world and its negative impact on it in people's lives and even in nature itself. uh, Human impact on nature too. It's like ego, because we build this huge houses, buildings, parks, and we just destroy on all nature uh, around us, and it's kind of sad. That's all about album, kind of meaning of the album. And music-wise, I guess I some songs I wrote uh, about 8 years, 7 years ago, and some of them uh, I wrote in 2018, I guess. No, right before we started to record it, and some of them fresh, some of them old, and I did it on purpose because I wanted to people, and like I said, this album very have has different songs in style even. If our first album was pure atmospheric death metal, and second album has a little bit of everything: industrial, gothic, death metal, and that's why it's so interesting to listen to it. It's not quite, mm, it's not boring. That's the main word.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's extremely diverse. Just when you think you're listening to one genre of metal, it kind of, turns you around a corner or takes you up a hill or decides that no, we're not listening to gothic metal right now. It's death metal or
Yeah.
you guys really nailed it with being eclectic on your music. And now that you mention that you have a mix of old and new, like
Yeah.
older songs and newer songs, you can definitely see that there is I don't know if it's really a balance because it kind of goes up and down. healthy
yeah,
unbalance, I guess, because it's
yeah, yeah,
you can tell that the songs are different. You know, you can tell that they've
yeah,
been written at different times. I guess now that you mention it,
yeah.
it's like, oh yeah, I can hear that now.
Cool.
So
Yeah.
right on. So how long did it take you to put this album together when you decided you were going to turn it into an album?
Oh, well, for some songs I wanted to be released for several years, like
Hmm.
that has been written long time ago. But when we released Execution, uh, I guess no, our first album, it was 2017. Then we released single, Parasite. It's cover on band Kiss, and I thought that we should do something new album. And as might someone know, I play in another band in Storm, called In Storm. We was on show
I'm
here.
sorry I missed that show.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, well,
Oh
uh,
right, that was the show I dropped out.
yeah, yeah,
My
yeah.
dad wouldn't let me stay in. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Anyway,
that's okay.
continue. I'm sorry. I just put two and two together that was you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's cool. And we've released within Storm our second album, Tame in the Case. And I guess after this, I thought, yeah, now it's time to release with Slice of Sorrow, second album. And in 2019, or at least in the end of 2018, I decided to start gathering songs because I have like 40 songs ready. uh, I mean, they ready to be released, to be recorded. So I
Hmm.
had to pick up that 12 songs that we've got for the album. Well, I've listened to them, and I thought that this particular 12 songs will be the best mixture for the album because it's, as we said, very diverse. And I
Hmm.
wanted to, yeah, I wanted this album to be diverse. I don't know, for some reason. Just it's more interesting to listen to, I guess, for me right now at least. And I thought people might enjoy it too, not just as straight death metal or something straight heavy metal, straight gothic metal. And I thought I do something that what I like everything little bit from every style. And we started recording in 2019, and then uh, we've got this lockdown with virus and stuff, so we had to uh, make a pause in recording, but
Hmm.
fortunately we've finished this, and then I mixed and mastered it myself, and it took several months, I guess, because I'm not very so good like Peter Tadgren in this from Hypocrisy, but I'm learning, and I guess this album is my best work as a producer, I guess. So, uh, summary, it's like took 2 years, I guess, to release it. Yeah, to record and release 2 years.
Wow, eh? So, well,
Yeah.
you like, I mean, it's worth the time that you put into it.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
definitely.
you
Yeah.
know, it's absolutely and more. And like it, I have to say, like I listen to a lot of music on a regular basis. We have a lot of music to process through, and this is one of those albums where I was like, "Whoa, what is this?" You know, it, it it's definitely diverse. I don't know how else to say. You know, it is a roller coaster ride, and it's great. It keeps you listening. It keeps you captivated. You want to hear more after that next song is done. You know, what's coming next.
Yeah.
So so with you did mention the virus, and we try not to mention it too much on the show because I mean,
Oh,
let's
yeah,
face it,
okay.
we all want our lives back, right?
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah. True.
how do you find that your writing process, your or I guess your production process for putting together the first album and putting together this album? How were things different for you guys in those processes because of the things that have happened over the last couple of years?
Oh, production with it was a little bit different. It was more difficult than first album because we used quattro guitars, and it's like this stuff when you record guitars 4 times the same part. You must play 4 times to get this tight sound and huge, massive sound. And
Right.
yeah, and of course it's more difficult to mix together. And also I uh, sang not only extreme vocals on this album, but as well clean vocals. As you can hear, some gothic songs and industrial songs with my clean vocals, and it was pretty difficult for me. And then it was difficult to mix too because I've never mixed it before, because it's different plugins, different effects on vocal and different equalizations. But it was very interesting experience. I guess I got level up in production with this album. And drums, I guess we mixed the same. And bass, we've got new bass. I mean, bass guitar, new, and it sounds very cool. I'm glad that we've got it. Finally, you can hear it in the mix, because on the first album sometimes it's kind of not there. Not
Hmm.
always, but sometimes. And in this album, I can listen to it and I can enjoy it with production side, not only composition. Because
It.
with first album I'm kinda think, oh, I could do better here, I could do better here, but
Mhm.
with this album it's very cool.
Yeah. Well, it's fun when you get to learn new areas of the industry,
Yeah,
especially when you're learning it so that you can produce your own stuff.
right.
When I first started doing, like, I'm a writer. I Podcasting was not a thing for me in the beginning, and then TJ was like, "You should be my co-host," and like, I'm better behind the camera, right? And then I started doing it, and it was like, wow, like, what else can I learn? How else can I do things? How can I better myself? What else can I do? And it definitely adds to the production of the things you do when you have more of a hand in it,
Yeah,
because you know those perfections that you want,
yeah, yeah,
and you hear those things where you're like, that's not right, and other people are like, that's amazing, and you're like, no, that's not right, so
yeah,
it and it's a more of a, you feel more of a sense of accomplishment when you do it on your own too, right?
yeah, yeah, absolutely, yes.
So right, so what are your plans for touring? Do you guys have plans for touring and stuff like that? Like, what's it like there? Are you guys open yet?
Well, we've played in 2018 with Cradle of Filth. If you know this band, it's kind of famous. And right
We
now,
do.
yeah, cool. Yeah, and we've just played our concert in Moscow, pretty big concert. It was May 99th, I guess,
Hmm.
3 weeks ago, basically. And it went very well. We were headlining there. No, it was our concert, and there was cool bands with us. We were celebrating Igathron album, yeah, release album. Our and right now, in the future, we've got no uh, confirmed gigs, because uh, we can't go outside of Russia right now, mm, for obvious reasons. And
Hmm.
yeah, and
We
in
can keep it
Russia,
simple.
yeah, 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 and we can go at Russia, but in Russia it's summer right now, and all clubs basically not playing gigs. So I think we start to play gigs near Moscow and maybe far from Moscow, starting with autumn. Yeah, autumn. Will be the
Nice.
first concerts. Yeah.
Yeah, not too much further away. I know we're slowly allowed out of our houses, you
Right.
know.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
it's it's been a weird world the last year and a half.
Yeah.
Canada itself has been a weirder world within what's already going on. So hopefully we'll get to see some live stuff around here soon.
Yeah.
I don't know how much longer I can handle not being in a mosh pit.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
like I 2019 I did 144 shows right before I released my book, and then
Oh.
it stopped. There was nothing, and it was like,
Oh.
what do I do with, where do I put all this energy? And throwing the kids around the living room into each other just isn't the same as a mosh pit, right? You know, like,
Yeah,
I mean, they get hurt and it sucks. We get hurt on purpose when we're in the mosh pit.
yeah.
So you mentioned that you're okay. You're in Russia. Are you in Moscow or you're just near there?
Yeah, I'm in Moscow right now. In Moscow. Yeah.
Okay. So what's your music scene like there? Are there any other bands? Like I know you said that you were with In Storm as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
along with them and you guys, like are there any other bands there that you want to give a shout out to? I know TJ's asked you this question before,
Yeah.
so this is routine.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I don't mind. There are plenty of cool bands like The Suicider, Spire, Sinful, Blackthorn. They're very cool bands. And we've got in Russia a really famous band. It's kind of Russian Iron Maiden called Aria. They play heavy metal. You can check them out. They're very legendary in Russia. Yeah. Yeah, and many bands, I guess. Well, Fragile Art, they played with us. Pretty cool band too. So you can check this one out, and if people like them, it would be really cool. They're very high quality band. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we're always into new metal, especially metal from the, like we like to bring metal from the other side of the world over here.
That's great.
TJ does a lot of booking in Russia and a lot of booking in South Africa, in
Oh, okay.
Australia. So I'd like hopefully we'll see more bands out of Russia, and the ones that you mentioned, he and I will definitely research and see what we can do about getting them on the show too.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
So, well, that's why we always ask. I guess I'm letting out a little secret here. We always ask, you know, who's your favorite band, who's in your local scene and stuff, because we always go fishing right after. We always go
Oh,
looking around, searching for new music, new bands and stuff. So that's how we do what we do. That's how we found you guys,
oh, that's
right?
great.
That's
That's great. Yeah.
so yeah. So where can we find your stuff?
Well, you can find us on Spotify, Apple Music, what's YouTube, Bandcamp. Yeah, we've got official website sliceofsorrow.com, and you can find our all social buttons there, Facebook and other stuff. And also we've got our uh, store, web store. If people would like to buy a T-shirt or some CDs, you can go on our website and click the button store and check out what's there. Yeah,
Right on.
yeah, it's cool.
Right on. So now, is there anything else? I ask this question every show. I don't know if the last time TJ interviewed you, he asked you this, but we covered the album. We covered the differences in the first one and the second one, and touring and all that stuff. Is there anything that we haven't spoken about that you want to tell everybody?
Well, I guess I could tell people about songs a little bit because they're pretty interesting topic, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the interesting stuff about first song, Endless Carnival, called, and it's kind of in circus music theme. It's not so common for metal songs, and I was really happy when I finally finished it because I wanted to write something like this for several years. and I just didn't have the right riff for it. And finally, I got this riff on guitar, and the rest is the history, I guess. But it's kind of crazy song and like creepy circus theme, and I think people would enjoy it to listen to it. Yeah.
Definitely a great tune.
Oh, thank you, thank you. And we've
Yeah.
got one song about Countess Bathory. It's Bath of Eternal Youth, and this pretty famous theme. Many bands have songs about it, about her. And with this song, I wanted not to just tell her story, but who don't know what she does, what she did, can check it out. Yeah. And I wanted to tell through her story about aging, how it's horrible and painful and scary. Yeah, it's pretty sad song, but I guess it's beautiful, and I hope people enjoy it too. Yeah. Uh, Also, we've got cyber war. It's about the obsession with social media. It's kind of modern topic and unusual for me, but I and this in industrial style song. I was inspired by Rammstein for this, and it's very unusual for us too. So
Nice.
I will be happy if people check it out. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I know TJ did share some stuff. Sorry, just give me 1 second.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Close your door, please. Melody, close your door, please. Joys of working from home.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love not working in an office right now.
uh,
So, my apologies.
that's okay. That's okay. Cool.
So, yes. So, sorry, continue what you were saying.
Yeah, well, and I'd like to say that we've got one song, like I said, about uh, what negative impact of human on nature. It's called Fake Paradise. It's metal ballad, very melodic song, and if people check it out, I would be glad too, cause it's pretty interesting song. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you guys definitely nailed it when it this album like I don't know. I kind of feel like I'm fangirling. I sound terrible because I'm supposed to be super professional at this moment, right? But like the whole album was fucking fantastic, man. Like I favorite song. They were all good, And I know
Thank you.
TJ had shared that we were doing an interview with you guys. He had shared your album, but we'll definitely share some individual YouTube videos and stuff and get that stuff out there as well. It's very different, and some people might pick up on one song and not pick up on another. You guys definitely are for the majority of metalheads.
Oh, thank you.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Probably one of the most clever albums I've heard in a long time, technically.
Thank you very much. I'm really
So,
happy to hear it. Yeah.
yeah, definitely. Well, hopefully, we can get everybody here in Canada to hear it too.
Oh, yeah, that would be cool. That would be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And
And we'll once you and I are finished with the interview, once we're finished with the rest of the world, we'll head backstage and talk about a few other opportunities too.
that's
So
great.
yeah, yeah, definitely. So on that note, what's your favorite song on the album?
Well, it's really a difficult question because,
I know.
yeah, yeah, I love them all, of course,
Yeah.
but I guess mm, one of my favorite is Glowing Dawn song, Chernobyl's Lullaby. It's about tragedy in Chernobyl. I don't know if you heard about it, uh, but there's uh, really uh, interesting song, and I put a lot of emotions when we were recording it, and
Hmm.
when I was writing the lyrics, and it turned out better than I thought, and I really like it. It's really soulful, yeah, really touching, I guess. Really like it, and I like Breath of Eternal Youth very much. Yeah, I guess I should. Igathron, very fun song to play live. Yeah, we've had fun to recording it. When we recording it, it was awesome. Yeah, I
Hmm.
guess these three uh, would be, yeah, these three. Okay. Yeah.
No, that's awesome. It feels good when you like the stuff that you accomplish, because like
Yeah.
I know as a writer, there's been stuff that I've put out where I'm like, this is the most terrible shit ever. And people are like, this is amazing. And I'm like, wait, right? But then you put that stuff out that you were like, wow, man, this is one of the best things I've ever done. And people are like, this is amazing. And you actually feel that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and I think it looks like you have nailed that with this album for you emotionally, right? When you hear it and
Yeah.
when people are like, hey, this is really good, like you feel that it's really good. And
Yeah.
along with putting all the production work into it yourself as well, too, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It
So,
was. Yeah. And art cover of the album, it's pretty unusual too. It's very colorful, and some people write us, wow, it's such an unusual artwork. It's not gloomy, it's not so brutal, but I guess it's very good with the music. Yeah, it's
yeah,
connected the music. Yeah.
I'm looking at it right now. Like I have your stuff pulled up next to me. That's why my eyes
Oh.
keep doing this while I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
And I have the album cover pulled up, and it's dark and evil and scary, but I want to go inside.
Uh, yeah, it's
Right? Like
great.
it's and being from Niagara Falls, we have this like massive Ferris wheel here on Clifton Hill, right? So like
Yeah.
that's my eye is automatically drawn right there. Like I think all of us in this community, right, in this area of the music community, we all have that dark carnival inside of us, I guess.
Yeah,
You
yeah, yeah,
know,
yeah.
that we all have a little. I have a friend, his show is called the Stranger Danger Thrill Show, and I think we all have a little bit of that inside of us, right? And I think your cover depicts that really well. you
Oh,
know
that's great.
like it's dark, but like I want to go inside. Because you like the way you have it underneath the skull, where you and the room is so lightly, like so brightly lit,
Yeah.
and it's just like, oh, what's going on in there, right? In the carousel, I love carousels, right? Horse tornadoes, they're amazing. So yeah,
That's
so
great.
you guys fucking nailed it all the way around with everything you did on this album, the music, the artwork, how humble you are about all the stuff that you did for it yourself, and the learning process and whatnot. You guys are fantastic, and I can't wait to hear more, and maybe be lucky enough to see you guys one day.
Oh, thank you very much.
You
Thank you.
know, I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
sorry, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. I said I wanted to say that thank you, and I'd like to say that Marina Nemtsova from Storm, it's my wife actually, and she really big help with Slice of Sorrow too. She
Hmm.
does a lot of work, and this artwork, especially, we brainstormed it together, and it's very big help from her. And well, I'd like to say that we would be very happy to play in Canada someday. It would be awesome, and I guess we'll get there and play for you guys. Yeah.
That would be awesome, definitely. And when you, because we know it's going to happen soon. They can't keep us in our houses forever, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we know it's going to happen soon. So when you guys do get over here, um, TJ and I are actually 3 hours away from each other. We operate in different cities. So, all the way in between from me to him, we are able to set you up with venues and shows, all the way between us for the 3 hours between us. And that's like
Oh,
probably 3 or 4 days, 4 or 5 days worth of shows. And you got a place to stay,
oh,
fridge to pull food
yeah.
out of, stuff like that. You guys are set while you're here.
Oh,
So
that would be awesome. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and if you can't play for everybody else, come here and play for us.
That's great. We'll be happy
So
to. Yeah, that's great.
yeah.
Yeah.
So right on. So on that note, I know I asked you this once already.
Yeah.
Anything else that you want to cover that we haven't?
Well, I don't know. Uh, I'd like to in first album, yeah, there were lyrics and more attention was on music from my part, and in this album, it's as much important as music. That's what I'd like to say. So if people would listen to our songs, I would suggest read the lyrics too, because
Mm-hmm.
then songs will be more interesting, I guess. That's my opinion. Yeah,
Well, I think too, when you listen to the lyrics, you get deeper into a song.
yeah, yeah,
You this is going to sound really weird, but like people develop relationships with songs the more they get into them. I know it sounds weird, but like, I mean, I've got Head Alone, Johnny No Cash song. I've got that song tattooed on my back, right? Because,
yeah,
well, because it was one of those songs where it was just like, this is my life right now. This is going to be, it was kind of like my theme song because I had gotten into it. I listened to the lyrics. I like the music. He's one of my favorites anyway.
oh,
But we just, we find themes, like I have a theme song, that when I hear it, I'm like, oh, this is my song. This was written about me, So we develop these relationships with songs, and when you get into the lyrics, you do get further into the song, you get further into the album, you get further into the band, and I think that helps too when you're a fan. Like we become invested in our music, right? And
yeah,
our music helps us through a lot of things. It helps us through good times. It helps us through shitty times. It helps us through all kinds of stuff.
yeah, yeah,
So you kind of get deeper into it when you get into the lyrics. If, some people are just about the music. Some people just they don't listen to music for the lyrics.
yeah,
They're there for the music. Some people
yeah.
are only there for the lyrics and don't like the music. I know lots of people who listen to metal and don't like metal, but they're like, I love the themes of the music, so that's what I listen to it for. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
So
yeah.
is there anybody you want to give a shout out to that as your wife and the band and in Storm as well? Like we have mentioned those. But is there anybody else that you want to shout out to or that you think we should listen to or, you know, get our music we should get our hands on?
Yeah, I no, I mentioned already this band from Russia,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
it would be cool if you check it out. And I would be very interested to see shows with them, your shows,
Yep.
interviewing
Okay.
them. Yeah, it would be awesome. And I guess uh, that's all people that would be great to see
Mm-hmm.
with you, yeah, and listen to them. And
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, I guess that's it. That's it. Yeah.
This is by far one of the best interviews I have done. Thank you so much. I'm
Uh,
so grateful that I got to do this morning. Thanks for not coming to work today, TJ.
Thank you for coming
So,
here. That's great.
yeah, it's
Thank you.
been fantastic. I've had a blast. So, on that note, I'm going to kick everybody else out
Yeah, okay.
and we're going to hang out backstage and then we'll be on our way for the day.
Oh, yeah, okay. Thank you. Thank you for watching.
Fantastic.